The smell of Commodore Red rises from the pool. Among it, distilled spirit and bits of shish kebab.
I'm sorry.
I'd just like to thank my partner MZB for all of the assistance with makeup and making me look fabulous over the last month. Hope you've enjoyed the Halloween season, and we return to our previously scheduled entertainment.
It's okay. Happens to everyone. Keep it.
And use white handkerchief. Thanks.
The hangover is clearly making these worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head.
Think ammonia would help? Okay, where do I get ammonia from?
There is freight nearby, east of the hostel. They usually have a small apothecary. If they don't...
Points to the greenhouse.
There's a greenhouse here, and a gardener with a wheelbarrow on the corner of the whirling in rags. If she works here, she might have something for the smell.
Pretty clever.
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier to the white check. Modifiers make checks easier and allow you to retry them.
Okay. So... I have another thing. Oh, and a handkerchief. Get ammonia from the gardener. Like, what killed my morale? I don't get it. It's perplexed me. I must say I'm perplexed. Booker's rose a pistol and a half-naked dame on the cover. On the cover stands a very muscular man surrounded by flames. This is a book about pate. Book about the future the government reads your mind using radio technology. Book about biodiario culture, promotes freedom and roaming upstream. It's a book you don't really understand what it's about, nor does it seem important. There's a drunk. So, are you the apothecary? Are you the pulmonary? Are you the apothecary? Are you the ammoninary? This could be a library. I love a library. All sports magazines tucked away in a dark corner. Book collects the national recipes of Arda. They are all about lake trout. Excuse me while I just browse your books. It's a tome of fascist magic, rather candid. Fascist magic.
These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen over and over. A couple of spook novels hide amidst all the detective books. Thrilling tales of spycraft and daring do. Crime fiction is a disgrace. An asinine misrepresentation of the physical attributes of the arduous everyday work of actual police officers. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads and eliminate dead ends. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year coming into contact with people during the worst days of their lives. Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of all the books found on the shelf? Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly stalwart Vespertine detective, Dick Mullen.
Oh, crime, robberies, murders, even sexual crimes. We're fortunate to have Dick Mullen and his stories to sort all that out. You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy all of these. They really do teach a person how to be a proper detective.
Everyone knows the most interesting thing about fascists was their magic.
The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of Famous People. You see a large variety of names, none of which ring a bell. Browsing through all the books with all their names makes your head spin. None of these seem important or relevant. It's all suddenly a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob Irv and Alfie Delatraz, by one Cecilia Averbrook.
What's it about?
High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers in history. One of them is the madcap driver, Jacob Irv. His blonde mane graces the cover. Next to Irv's life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called the Anti-Star. He's famous for shooting morphine into one of his eyeballs and cocaine into the other.
Jesus.
Next to that, Rivasholian radio personality D.B.S.B.F stands in front of a rundown drug den. He's a permanent fixture on Channel 8, reporting on real-life crime and ruining cops' days.
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them is not for free. Do still browse though, but not too long. I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead. Take your time. Time is commerce. I would say The Greatest Innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool, delving into the depths of history, religion, and their relation to innocentic power.
What is an innocence?
A very influential historical figure. But surely I don't have to tell you that. You're a law officer, and law officers have at least some education. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the innocentic system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of things. Certainly, it's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding of history and society. Imagine the chaos we'd be in otherwise.
You feel like you should get this one. Definitely. It's important somehow. There's something personal inside.
A true cultural touchstone. Enjoy the read.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
Okay. Interact.
The Greatest Innocence by João Paulo Salomão Lopes de Fuego. The book is large and heavy.
Crack open this.
Browsing through the various chapters, you try your best to understand the ceaseless overflow, the sprawl of names, dates, places, events historical. Most of it ends up as a twisted mass of facts inside your brain. Your educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? No. Oh well, it's pop quiz time. Let's see what you've learned. This might take a few minutes. You ready? That's the spirit. Here we go. Question 1. Who was the first innocence? Oh yeah, this is what I was made for.
And so, alright, go on, give me all the hints you got. Solar, Dolores, you know. Oh yeah, this is what I was made for. That's so, alright, go on. Give me all the hints you got.
A pop quiz is a short examination designed to test your knowledge without any prior warning or announcement. Such exams allow the teacher to assess how thoroughly the students have retained the material at hand. Voila! Now blast that first innocence. Thanks for nothing. Dolores Day. Dolores. Incorrect. Dolores Day was the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. She codified parliamentary democracy and created modern institutions. Among these, the moral intern. She was powerful and beautiful on all her icons. Her color colors are silver, white, and apricot. And when you think her name, Dolores, stomach acid rises to the back of your throat, and it hurts. You see a flash silver, a wreath, an airport bag, and blonde hair. You don't know why. Another choice, perhaps? Steer clear of this one. There's something terrible about this one. Yes, the quiz is impersonal. No need to rouse sensations in yourself at the mention of Dolores Day. Who was the first innocence? It wasn't Dolores Day. Correct. Nothing much is known about him. It's not even clear that he was a he,
The
but Franco Negro
Pericanesi.
presumed as such and called him Pius. He's depicted as a young man with molten gold pouring out of his mouth. All he spoke was gold. It's said he invented God and equality of men before God. He also introduced the gold standard as a way for measuring people's love for Aurum.
Aurum? Who's Aurum?
As the first innocence, he declared that there should be more of those like him. It is presumed his disciples were the beginning of the Holy Party, the founding party.
The founding party in the Holy
Question
Party.
2. Who was the strongest innocence?
Who was the strongest
Easy.
innocent?
Everybody knows the answer to this. You, me, anybody.
I don't trust that he's got my back. Franco Negro.
Correct. Named the innocence of militarism, he codified hereditary rule, but at the same time ended serfdom and established the Inter-Isolari Real as the global reserve currency. He also established the concept of the nation. Franco Negro attempted to solve the rising tensions between the aristocracy and bourgeoisie by building a unified society in which every man has a place and a mission, but at the same time may rise to nobility provided on the strength of his virtue. Question 3. Who was the false innocence? Got it under control. No problem. Solid on this one. It's widespread historical information.
You going to be helpful this time? I could use a hint.
Yes, there exists a group called the Founding Party, known as the Holy Party, during the time of the Pericanesian. This, the world's oldest international organization, spends its time in search of either the re-emergence of the innocents or new members. There seems to be a mix-up with the sources. It's not my fault. At least it clearly wasn't Dolores Day. She wouldn't be false. She's beautiful.
Dolores.
No, stop thinking it. I said it wasn't her. She was true. No, stop thinking it. I said it wasn't her. She was true.
Oh no, Pasternak, Kedra.
Incorrect. Kedra is a large nation in the mid-northern area of the Mawindi Isola, north of the Occident, between the Ilmarin mountain range and the Pacific Mare Interregnum. Care to try again? Correct. There have been a number of counter or false innocences, some assumed to have innocentic qualities, some who just thought so themselves. Occasionally, they have the support of a faction inside the ecclesiastic organization, and accusations of foul play have arisen. The most famous and important of these was Ernest Pasternak. He was into torture, despotism, hymns, cannons, and world conquest, but got defeated and humiliated by Stepan the Despicable of Kedra. Final stretch. You've come so far and learned so much. This is the most important one. Question 4. Who was the greatest innocence? The most important of them all. The most precious to humankind. I've got it. Honest. Of course, this is my thing. The reason I exist in this world. The correct answer is Franco Negro. 0 doubts. Incorrect. While Franco-Negro built concrete churches and cathedrals, and while many people, especially the Mess, consider him a father figure, due to his militarism and nationalism, João Paulo Salomão Lopes de Fuego argues differently. Another choice, perhaps? Oh yes, militarism and nationalism. My bad. Yes, obviously.
Obviously.
Correct. The Mess might see Franco-Negro as the father of nations, but as of this century, there's been a great shift in attitude. Dolores Day has become widely regarded as the greatest innocence. A most radical change to the whole fabric of the world. Everything from inter-esolary travel to the connected world to 3 consecutive scientific revolutions can be traced back to her. Every decade that passes, she seems less human somehow, and more beautiful. Congratulations on finishing the test. The results and your subsequent grade have been calculated. You get a C, vaguely passable. A solid effort with nothing much else to show. Nice going, mediocrity man. You would have done better if you just left Dolores Day for the end. Dial the Dolores Day down a bit.
What's going on with you?
Okay. You are shouting at an inanimate object, like a real weirdo. No wonder you seem to have trouble with the right answers.
Got ourselves an autosave. I mean, I might pack up soon and do some
Several
food
maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one corner. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez. This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the Insulindic Ocean. The largest in the northeast is La Caillou. You are here. Another far away in the southwest, Seminese Islands, Ile de Fantôme. Ozone, Laurentide, Fas a la Mer, Archipelagos, North Arcade Islands, all just specks of dust on the vastness of the Insulindic. On the edges of the map, the color fades into a blur of dotted lines, black and white, disintegrating into mathematics. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou in a bookstore. It's you. You can, on Caillou, Revachol, a single black star, on Ozone, Fondelier, and Vilmandu, on archipelagos, Croyan Moran, Villiers, on Seminine, Olduvai, and on Laurentide, Deora of the Seven Seas. 850 million people live on these little dots, an oceanic world of culture and commerce torn apart by history. The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Mwindi is the north azimuth. Gra is the northeast azimuth. Samara is the east azimuth. Seo is the west azimuth. Isolas, they're called. Connections to other worlds. Words past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You only know you've never been there. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars, gods. But looking at them makes you feel almost non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you, and very, very far away. Perhaps they are gods.